Emergency vehicles are responding to calls all over the city, and while some people need help from emergency officials, others are taking things into their own hands.
So I just figured, why wait for the city to do it? Might as well just take it in my own hands and do it myself.
Robert Mikowitz spent a few hours cleaning up branches and clearing the lane on East 26th Street in front of his home. He says he wasn't expecting the mess, but doesn't mind the extra work.
God's blessed me so far, you know. We haven't had any in my house, but the neighbor over there has half a tree once through the back of their house.
Just across the street, Kenneth Mays woke up to a loud noise and realized he wasn't so lucky.
I heard a big boom, so I got dressed, walked out here, saw the tree through the roof, and we were just talking about cutting it down yesterday.
Tuesday morning's ice storm brought down this massive tree on the roof of this house on East 26th Street. Not only did it fall on the roof, it fell right into the room where the baby sleeps.
I was glad to see everybody was okay, so it was just crazy.
Wishing you would have cut it down now?
Yeah.
And while Mays is feeling the impact of this storm, Mikowitz admits it's just a normal part of living in the Midwest.
In South Dakota, you know, it gets snow in September and snow in April, so what's the difference?
Megan Millage, KDLT News, Sioux Falls.
The story of this road trip started months ago with a secret a whole town had to keep.
My sisters have planned this whole thing.
Chief Tara Mays has been in the Navy for almost 13 years. And with that job comes some hard trade-offs.
It's been so long since I've been able to hug my child. That's it. That's all I can think about.
Tara works on a destroyer, cruising on the high seas thousands of miles away.
Greece, Bahrain, Dubai.
She hasn't seen her son since last May.
There are days where you just feel like, oh, I'm a terrible parent because of this, but you know, when I re-enlisted, I asked him. He was probably 7. I said, are you okay with me staying in the military? Are you okay with, living with your Aunt Jenny? And he said, yeah, I can do that. We can handle it.
But can the town of Hoven, with a population of 500, keep a secret this big?
I'm pretty nervous though. Like, I'm afraid he's gonna be bigger than me.
A small South Dakota town with a 10-year-old boy as their mark. All this time, Zach Mays has been made to believe this whole display is a special day to honor members of the military. Little does he know, his mom, who traveled thousands of miles to be here, is only feet away. Months of planning for this one special moment.
It's kind of one of those feelings that you don't explain to anybody, or you can't explain to anybody unless they've been through it. You go so long without being able to touch your children, and then they're standing right in front of you. It's amazing and nerve-wracking at the same time.
Very exciting. Very exciting and sad because I really missed her.
One special moment created by a community of only a few hundred.
I seriously wouldn't have been able to do it without his teachers and my family. You really got to know that people are taking care of your kid.
In a word, reliable. Thousands of miles and hundreds of secrets, all for the love of a mother and her son. Phil McElrath, KDLT News, Hoven.
It's tragic because I think somebody actually lost their life in that accident.
And someone did lose their life. Clyde Henriksen says he was stopped at a light on Minnesota when he noticed a Chevy Blazer behind him traveling fast toward his car.
I was just stopping. I seen him in my rearview mirror, and he come whipping around me, almost hit me.
Then Henriksen watched the deadly accident unfold.
He hit the Durango, went up on the curb, ramped up, hit the sideways, did a couple turns and flipped over in a lot.
Officer Sam Clemens with the Sioux Falls Police Department says the Chevy Blazer was traveling northbound on Minnesota when the driver struck a Dodge Durango, which in turn struck a pickup. The Blazer then hit a sign for Taylor's Pantry on the southeast corner of Minnesota and 41st, flipped a couple of times, landing in an empty lot. Now it's up to investigators to try to put the pieces together to find out exactly what caused this fatal crash.
They'll look at all the physical evidence. That'll include skid marks, gouges that are in the road, the damage that was done to the other vehicles. There's a lot of physics that play into this.
As Henriksen recalls the tragic crash from start to finish, he says he was relieved to see the children involved in the accident conscious and moving.
I'm just glad none of them were really hurt.
Welcome to Starlight.
Car after car rolled into the Starlight.
15, please.
Folks knowing it would be their last chance.
Have a good evening.
It's kind of a sad day, but we're glad we're here tonight for the last the last night.
Long time being here, and now it's all gone.
Have one last blast before say goodbye.
I think people are still holding out a little bit of hope that maybe something will come through here.
Hi! Inside the concession stand, built in 1949, the smell of freshly popped popcorn draws hungry moviegoers inside.
20? Yep.
Two machines churn out batch after batch to keep up with demand.
Need another medium? Oh, sure. Oh, yeah.
All supervised by Jeff Logan.
There we go.
He's owned the theater since 1976.
These hot dogs for anyone?
Trying to stay busy, which is not hard to do since this appears to be a record crowd.
Nice to see it like this again, isn't it?
I know, it's so busy here.
Yeah, yeah.
Busy.
Oh, I just wish that, it was all the time like this. But I was telling Tom that the last time it was like this, I think, was Smokey and the Bandit. And, that's mid-70s.
Fran Tuber has a special connection. She and her husband were the second owners of the drive-in, spending their summer nights running the theater during the golden age of drive-ins.
The biggest grossing movie was Elvis Presley, Blue Hawaii.
Big crowd?
Big crowd.
We need to get 2 cars between each post.
But over the years, those big crowds dwindled, and Logan came to the conclusion that this would be the drive-in's last summer.
This will be the last time that we start the projector here at the Starlight.
This is Radio Starlight. So, as he started the last movie on the last night,
here we go.
Logan couldn't help but feel mixed emotions.
I mean, we had trouble enough walking to say anyone driving back here.
Sad that it's coming to an end, but happy to see so many people.
I'm thrilled it's like this, and this would be a great memory.
An hour and 38 minutes later, the movie credits are rolling through the projector, and the crowd is leaving.
It's been a great run.
And that's when reality really starts to sink in for the longtime owner.
Just a flood of memories of all the years, all the things we've done and that have happened, and it's just really sad.
The cleanup is over, the staff is gone, and it's a final goodbye to a place that has created so many memories. It's fitting that the only light left on this final night is the Starlight.
A home turned inside out, destroyed by winds that swept across Lake Ponson. But in one of these destroyed homes, a life lost.
At this point, we can confirm there was a 63-year-old lady, a female, that was injured tonight, and she did pass away from those injuries.
Sad news for a neighbor who traveled up from Bruce to see his lake home after hearing word of the storm.
Material things we can replace, but the human life, like the lady that died, I mean, you can't replace that.
Emergency crews evacuated a portion of the lakefront due to downed power lines and a propane leak. But when neighbors got that first glimpse of what was left in the storm's wake, the devastation was hard to handle.
It's just kind of it looks like a war zone. It's a disaster that we never, well, obviously it's never been like this here before.
The sheriff's office working at full force with other communities also receiving damage.
It's been pretty devastating out here for everybody. As a community, all of them have pulled together. We've had not only this area, but 3 of our other towns suffer some pretty major damage.
For those dealing with the aftermath of this storm, the Hamlin County Sheriff gives a bit of advice.
Tomorrow when the sun comes up, any assistance that's needed, they can either get hold of our office or the emergency management office, and we'll try to give them the assistance they need.
A hectic day across eastern South Dakota where severe storms destroyed homes and took a life.